This video will show how to reassemble the head of this brand cutting edge T-blade trimmer model CXE1-1001. This is how it looks when it's finished, and this is what it should sound like. So notice how the blade is put together. Don't put it in backwards. Here's how you could take it apart. Just push down here, and then with your other hand, you can just, with your right hand, you can push down. And then slide it out. This is how it looks before you disassemble it. Notice how this pin right here it's going to be pushing into this hole right here. Okay, it pushes the blade against the other thing. I don't know what you call this. I think this is the cutting blade and the other one is a pincher or whatever. I don't know what it is. That's important. You also have to notice that there's this coil here, this spring. It's under tension, so it's basically going to be pushed into this ledge, whatever. That's what's going to hold the whole thing together. So it shouldn't. You notice that when it's all assembled, you can flop it around, and it doesn't fall apart. So let's take it apart. First thing to do is to pop this out of the hole, pop the other one out of its hole. Okay, then you can remove, I guess you have to kind of pull it out because everything is under tension. So you take the blade out first. Okay, now do you see how it's under tension under this piece of plastic? So to get that out, you kind of need to just pop it. Okay, so now the tension is off that spring. And then this piece comes out. Okay, this is the way to put it in. Don't put it in backwards. It needs to go in like this. Okay. This piece can be further taken apart just by pulling it off. I don't know why you would want to do that, because it's actually kind of difficult to put back together, but just in case it falls apart, notice that there's this thing, this little piece of plastic that's holding the whole thing together, plus this one, these kind of, I don't know if you call them flanges or something. So if you slide it out, then it comes apart, and the flange is only on one side, not the other. There's also these little holes that protrude. Those need to go into these holes here. So this is the way to do that. Putting it back together. Put that kind of like tooth through the hole. And then you need to kind of back it all out and kind of slide it in there like that until everything fits back together. It's kind of difficult, but once it's there, you see that the holes are aligned. This tooth is latched on there, and this tooth is latched on there. So reassembling, put this guy back in, like that. See how that fits? Pretty solid fit. Okay, then I would put this part in next and put it under tension. So it's a little tricky, but basically it's going to be sitting in there like that, but this has to go in there under tension. So you can't quite put these coils in their fuselage here until you've bent everything. It's quite difficult. Maybe I'll open up these hemostats. Okay, almost there. Oh, missed it. All right, gotcha. Good. Now everything's under tension. So we can now put this in. Basically our goal is to get these hooks into these holes. This hook into this hole, this hook into this hole. Again, it's kind of challenging because the whole thing is under tension. Oh, I did it backwards. Okay, try that again. Remember I said don't put it in backwards? That's backwards. That's correct. Okay, try it again. good. Great. Okay, so if I flop it around, it stays in place. That's because everything is under tension. Here's how the blade looks, and the motor is going to go in there, and it's going to move back and forth. And when hairs get into these grooves, they'll get cut. So to put the head back on the whole body, you're basically going to get this up under here, and then these are going to be springs, these pieces of metal, to hold this down, basically, to kind of push it up, I guess. Further put the whole spring under tension. Oh, one thing I misunderstood when I first did this is, you see how these are hooked? I originally thought that this part here was supposed to like sit nicely in that groove, but that's not where it goes. It actually goes up under the back. Why did they put this groove here? I don't know. Maybe it needs to be flat on the top so it can sit on there, but it's just very confusing. There's real no purpose for this space. It's mainly for this. Okay, so get that under there. Okay. And then I just kind of put it down on the table and push the body up onto it. And I think it's all done. Let's see if it sounds right. Yeah, it sounds right. Again, it's the cutting edge T-blade trimmer model CXE1 1001.